Bonjour, mesdames et messieurs. Welcome back to VP4TV. Well, if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what does. That was Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture, giving it the big build-up for the big match tonight, the match between MC_Clarky and Real Poland Power, Stubb as we know him, and he's still not in the building as far as I can see. Nope, looking around, he's going to give it the big sort of hang on. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Slim and anybody else that's watching. Well, welcome to Dwight as well. So, a round 3 match in this year's virtual 9-ball World Championships. We had the match earlier on that never was. Now, I wrote in the chat last night in the lobby, some of you would have seen it. I said, Popman, you will be here tomorrow. He said, yes, I will. And then, of course, he doesn't show. We don't know what happened. We'll try and find that out. And needless to say, Demon went through by forfeit. So he's through to the next round on the one-loss side. This is right at the top of the draw. The winner of this match will play the winner of the match we have tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. That's the one with Acero and Spectre Dawn. That should be a good one as well. And that's the round 3 also. Further down, we have Albinario through to round 4. After that, Demolition of Bill. We've got Slim at the weekend with Coldest Pillow on Sunday. Slim will be streaming that on his channel. I'll be coming home from work at that time and catch the end of it. And then, of course, the one-loss side will take shape gradually as more come through. No message from Steve that he's intended to join us. So Stubb has arrived. Welcome to Cobra. I've got Discord open and I'll have a quick tab out. In fact, we're near the time, so I'll have a quick tab out and check. Hang on, wrong button. Right, he's not there, so he may well not be joining us. I'll leave Discord open for the time being, and then once it's started, if he's still not there, the room is up. Let's get in. We won't hang around. Race to 19. Matt should beat Stubb, but if Matt is careless and Stubb is less careless than he is, then he can certainly cause him trouble. But Matt, no doubt, should be the favourite in terms of being more consistent, cleaner, a bit more accurate, I would say, moving the cue ball better, less of this sort of banging and hoping. So we've got Matt on the right, Stubb on the left, and Matt should win this lag, no problem. Stubbs overhit it by a mile. In fact, he's pretty much nailed it. So off we go. Well, we'll see how much he's trying. That will unfold. We've got the 2 ball in the bottom left, 1 ball into the side. Something else went in as well. What else went in? The 2 and the 3. So looking at this setup, the same old, same old. He should be out. Now, if we look up top, the only sort of slight issue is whether that 4 goes, and the 4 goes. Oh, he's finishing the short side of it. Didn't notice that. I was too busy looking at the 4. But he's nailed that, and it'll be first blood. Stubb should have a fair idea what he's up against here. He's got to be more consistent. He's been sloppy in a couple of his matches, but the problem with that is he's been against opponents that have let him get away with it. That's the problem. But I don't think Matt's that falls into that category. Welcome to Tam. So Matt wins the lag, break and run. You can't get a better start than that. Close closely followed by, I think, a dry break as usual. There we go. So here's Stubbs' immediate chance to respond, and I think it's all about this 1 to the 2 ball. If he gets, and again he's banging, I mean, that is stupidity if ever you've seen something. I mean, what have we just said? He's decided to blast, and of course he scratches. I mean, that's the idiot stuff that he's been doing, and he's still not learning his lesson. But by the end of the night, he'll have a fairer idea of what the lesson should be. You know, play the game. There was nothing of any control about that, and he should be getting his just desserts here. Well, this is tricky. The 4 balls up top. It might be fairly straight, this. But he's leaving the long cut. No harm in that as long as you get it, because you're guaranteed to be on the 5. And the rest should follow. Stubb must feel a bit like an idiot after doing that. I mean, he's got to be sitting there kicking himself, realizing everybody's laughing at him doing that sort of stuff. First shot he gets, he blasts it. Okay, he wasn't ideal in the 1, but I mean, I'm sure he could have come up with something a bit more constructive than that. Folk might say, oh, he was unlucky, he scratched, but if you start banging balls at that pace, the inevitable will happen somewhere along the line. Unfortunately for Stubb, it happened straight off the bat, and it's 2-0. I mean, in recent big tournaments, Stubb has fallen short very early in the tournament and gone home, winner's side to loser's side and then out the door. I mean, the fact that 9 ball is his game is probably the only way you could justify that he's still in the tournament on the winner's side. But if he keeps doing stuff like he's done, he won't be. So here's another opportunity, and this is a lot tougher than what he had. Mind you, is that 5 ball on the pocket or on the knuckle? No, it's fine. 5 ball's fine. It's not as tough as I thought it was. And if he fails here, his prospects are not good at all. Now, at the end of this rack, I'm going to tab out and shut down Discord. Again, it's just an extra process running that we don't need. Obviously, Steve has got other things to be doing. He's probably on to Welsh language now for the update. In fact, talking of Welsh, where's Cold as Pillow? I think it's off the rail a fair wee bit, so it shouldn't be a problem. Well, that's why we need a Welsh translation. Matt missed a pot there, didn't he? That's what let Stubb in. Yeah, any language with far too many vowels, not vowels, double letters. It's the Dutch you don't want to trust because they've got far too many vowels stuck together. I saw a post on Facebook about Kyogo Furuhashi has been. He went to Rennes in France, and that's been a disaster. He left Celtic to go there, and I think Rennes have said he can leave if he wants to. And he's been hinting that he wants to come back to Celtic. We'll see if that manifests itself. So Stubb on the board. And I think we're giving it the old kick. He might get lucky here. No, he's scratched again. Again, just banging at the ball. I mean, that's 2 lessons he's had. Bang at the ball, let the cue ball run loose. You'd have no control over it. I mean, fair enough, he was kicking it, but he's going to probably end up with the same punishment again. Right. Well, while Matt is doing this, I'm tabbing out for a minute. And we'll get rid of this. Right, that's that done. So we've got that little chink of daylight. And it's just a question of whether Stubb's going to continue doing what he's doing and just let Matt run away with this. I mean, there's not much Stubb will be able to do when he's not at the table, but it's what he's doing wrong when he's at the table that's causing him these issues, and he just keeps doing it. Is that not the definition of a fool or something? You know, when something ain't working and you're doing something, but you keep doing it, you know, is that not what that phrase is? Well, Stubb's that fool. He keeps doing the same stuff, and he continues doing it, expecting different results, and it just doesn't happen. So the 4 ball has gone. 1 ball, you could try a cut back bank. You can just try and duck, get it to the short rail. And although the cue ball's not got as much length on it as I would like, it's still going to give Stubb problems. He's got to get this thin, and he's got to get up in that top corner. In fact, he's trying to use the 2. Well, that'll work, but it's a huge target, and it might be kicked in. That, I thought, would go to the long rail opposite, because you've always got the odds of getting that kicked in. In fact, if he'd hit that harder, he might have actually kicked that in still. Now, here's a tricky one to judge, to try and sneak in behind that 6 ball. Yeah, too heavy and didn't get the spin, and he's left it wide open. So Stubbs, as bad as I am in terms of touch, coming in cold to play VP4. You've got to find that touch through table time. Definition of lunacy, that's what I was trying to think. I knew the phrase was in my head somewhere, I just couldn't get it out. Yeah, but you know what I mean. So we need to have a quick look at this 8 ball and see what's happening here, because it's clear that it ain't going anywhere unless for some, well, in fact, not even that way, but if you will, there's a mistake made by Matt. You know, if you were right here, you could pot the 8 ball, but you'd have to play a good shot to get there, and Stubb's going to have that problem. Now, he could do that off the 7 and just hope he's still on the 6 ball. I mean, there's no harm in taking that risk, but trying to do something now off the 5 ball might not be a great idea. What did I say there? I'm getting my numbers and my balls mixed up here, if you pardon the expression. That tells you I'm needing to go out my bed. Yeah, it probably does bank. Well, did he nudge that 8 ball there? Because, I mean, it's a dodgy looking bank now, where the 8 ball's sitting on the 9. And he's not got the angle to do anything to it, so we'll see whether it does bank. Unless you're going to try and run this and do something crazy. Welcome to Larry. I think he did brush that 8-ball, because I think it was sitting in the line. He might have been able to get at it more, but this angle's no good to him. Yeah, he's trying to run the rails. Well, he made a valiant effort at it, but it was always going to be tough. Now what's even tougher, now at this angle, he's cutting that back. You know, that's just going to go to the rail and come back to the 9-ball, this 8-ball, the way it's sitting. Unless he thinks he can push it forward enough to try and make the cross bank. I'm not sure whether he can get enough of it to do it. But I think we're about to find out, because, I mean, there's not much option available to him here. And he's already 3-1 down, remember. And he has nailed it. Where's the cue ball? Well, that'll do. I'm sure he'll be relieved, but it was a good shot. And this is one of these blind pocket cuts. Now, if he stuns us, and he just needs to be careful with the cue ball, unless he's just going to roll it. But I think he wants to maybe make sure that it gets to the hole first of all, and he doesn't let the cue ball drift over to that side pocket. It's coming low. And it's gone in, so ended up in a good out there for Stubb. Keeps him in touch. 6-ball in his side. Something else went in. I was too busy looking at the cue ball. He's got a cut in the 1. 3-ball right in the middle of the table, so he should have a shot somewhere. And they're all there. They can all be got at, and he should be all square. This is all hinging on the pot in the 1. Now, he doesn't want to come round the corner and go close to this 3. Yeah, he's going past it because he doesn't want to land on top of it. Again, he's going to just have to make sure the cue ball is heading in the right direction here, because the angle, he might even just leave this 4 long, but he needs to leave an angle to get out and onto the 5. He doesn't want to get out of line that way. What's he doing? Yeah, see, look at the amount of cut angle he's got in that. He could just stun it in and drift down. No, he is coming into the table. Oh, that was a bit dicey. Can he get enough of this 5? I presume he can. Yeah, he almost made a hash of that. If he'd get any more of that 8-ball there, he might have been embarrassed. But it looks as if he's going to be all square. Well, maybe he's. Well, I'm not going to say that because it will probably show up at some point. But if he's banging out his system and decided he needs to knuckle down and actually play properly, then he's got the chance to do well. We'll see how long it lasts. But I think he's struggling also. He's dry as a follow-up. But Matt has got no shot. He can try and tuck this behind that 7 and 9. He hasn't quite got the legs, I don't think. He had the right idea. But he's going to be in trouble himself in a second. Maybe there's not enough room to get there now, looking at the angle. Let's see whether he can sneak in and check it. Yes, he can. Don't even think he needed to check it. He had all the room to get there. I thought it was a bit tight, but it's a good one. And it's good because Matt is going to have to try and spin this. Yeah, he tried to play it slow enough to let that spin take a grip, but I don't know that the line was exactly there to get it. But anyway, Stubb Safety gets him the opportunity. And again, they're all there. And on the 3 up to the 4, stay well away from the 8 ball. He shouldn't have any issue. The only issue would be is the angle he ends up in the 4. He might have to sneak round the back of the 5. We'll see how that shows up. But again, it shouldn't be an issue. The only problem he's got here against the angle in the 2, and he's managed to stun and hold it. Now, this is where it can get tricky, because now it's not quite the simple control shot he would want, because this is too thin, this 3 ball. And he might be, if he tries to drop this in dead weight, I don't think the scratch is on. I think he'll go to the long rail and come off it a ways from the pocket. But it depends how he sees it, whether he's trying to go to the... Well, he see how thin it went in the end there. I think it might have been going a bit higher, but it went thinner to the rail, and he diced with death there. So this is the problem. He's finished too low. He would have wanted to finish somewhere like there. So, but if he can come out and miss the 8 ball, it'd be ideal. I think he's got enough room. I think he should be fine. As long as he gets this thin enough. Nope, he has bumped 8. What do I know? So now he's got a chance to duck for cover here. Now he can try and bank this back towards the short rail and run up to the 7 and 9. He's got a good line to get there. And he's also got the 8 ball and the 6 ball that might come into play on this shot as well. That should be what he's looking at. I think this is more about the cue ball than the 5 ball. I mean, is he playing it or is he trying to blast a cut? He's trying to blast a cut. You see, this is where you do have to know your limitations. Was he scared of playing the safety shot? To me, the safety shot was on all day. You'd a good percentage of getting some sort of cover, whether it be the cue ball or the 5 ball behind something in the middle of the table there, and he goes all out for a tough cut. And this is the thing about this 9 ball mentality I keep talking about. I mean, I would ask the question there, would Larry have actually played the safety I was talking about, or would Larry, with his 9 ball mentality, still have done the same thing as Stubb done? Because I say the odds would be fairly good that Larry would have went for it as well. Whereas if that was me, I'd have been ducking in the undergrowth up in the long grass. That's what I'd have been doing. You've got to just wind it in now and again, you know. Yeah, Larry says he would have made it. Yeah, well, that answers my question, because I know Larry would have went for that. These guys are just they're too scared to let the other guy at the table, whereas controlling the tables, sometimes a better option. You've got to make your move when you can, but when the odds are better in your favour, that's what I say. And I don't think the odds were quite in Stubbs' favour there, when you consider that the safety shot was far easier. And he's done it again. Blasting at a ball, no control of the cue ball, and straight into the pocket and off. It was a great billiard shot. And every single one of them so far has cost him a rack. He should be counting them up, because it's a case of how many racks Stubbs losing because of his carelessness. And this is going to be the third one. Oh dear, what's happened there? Let's see if the replay is working, because that's pretty poor. Look at this for a shot. What was Matt thinking on there? What was he trying to do there? Check the cue ball up and get up into the gap for the 4. Well, obviously that's what he was trying to do, but you've got to get the first part of the job done. That was a poor one, and he's let stuff off. I'll say that again. He's let Stubb off the hook. Well, 3 rails should be easy enough as long as you finish short or there or thereabouts, and that's perfect. That's fine. So we will be all square here in a second, and like I said, Matt doesn't want to be given these get out of jail options for Stubb, because he's done it. He's done it right there. And we all know what happens when it gets down to the business end of the match. Anybody can win it then, because if they're neck and neck coming down the home straight, then any result will happen. I think Matt wants to concentrate on getting as far away from Stubb as he can, and frustrate, because then Stubb's going to take more risks. That's the whole point of the exercise. When he's down, he's going to be trying his damnedest to get back in it by going for everything. The shoe could be the other foot. It could end up with Matt in that position, depending on how things unfold. But it's 4 apiece after 25 minutes. Well, something definitely dropped, and I think he's on the 1. Well, all you do is just drop the 1 in, drop through, nick the 2 in, and come out for the cut in the 3. Has he overdone this? Oh, tell you. Well, I mean, he ran out of table, so he was always going to be on it, let's be honest. He ran out of table. If the table was wider there, it would have went to the long rail and he'd had no shot. And even these at this distance are no gimmies. I mean, if you just get that a tad offline, they don't go in. And I think he's hampered slightly over that 9 ball, and that makes it tougher. Oh, yeah, that's a terrible effort, that. I don't know. I mean, he's totally forgot to play the stroke. Totally forgot to play the stroke. Now, that's a bit embarrassing. That's all. That, he says, a game bug. That's almost as if your bottle's gone there. That shot. That's a Larry trackball mouse shot if ever I've seen it. That's exactly what can happen there. And Stubbs not impressed, but surprisingly enough, he's not impressed at his own efforts. So Matt now will have the lead and that chance to get that gap again. But all you need to do is just take your eye off the ball for a second you know, not quite double check your setup or how you're lined up and the mistakes made. You know, Matt missing that cut in the last rack along the short rail at the bottom there was surprising. And the follow up again, I don't think anything's doing because I don't think anything went, no, it didn't. So 1 ball right in the middle, 2 ball right in the middle of the table. 1 ball, of course, is kind of straight in, I think, is it? It is. So he's played the stun draw there. Now you see, there's the perfect stun draw where you hit it hard, but you don't put the cue down to the bottom of the cue ball. You just hit it harder and you get that draw, but it's a more controlled shot. And he's checked the cue ball. Now, anything but straight in this, that's the problem with this shot. Now, that I think might be workable. He's got to watch he doesn't try and pinch too much. He's tried the big stun again, and that will work. So, back the way again out into the table. Well clear of the 8 ball. And this should be straight onto the short rail back out, but don't leave it short. You've got to get high enough to make it easy to come off the 7 and get to the 8, and don't stick yourself on the 8. That's the other thing you don't want to do. You don't want to do this. I think he's fine. He's taking his time. Oh, shoes near their foot now. Can Stubb get the follow up? And there's your answer. Nada. Is he going to get safe though? Yes, he is. Now, there's enough room to get into the back of that one to kick it up the table if you spin the cue ball. The problem though is the in off the back of the 1 doing that. Let me have a look at how much room he has to play it. No, he's playing the push out. Now, if this is me, I'm going thin off the right side of that 1 ball. And he's went blasting for the cut. And he's got a lucky roll. He's got a shot in the 2. You need that luck to have a shot. Why? What did I do last night, Tam? Last night was Monday because I was in Monday night 9-ball Scotch doubles. Don't ask me about it. Oh, I did. Did I say that? Aye. Well, I went tomorrow morning. Aye. Maybe I did. Maybe I got confused that way. Aye. I'm talking about tomorrow morning because I'm already awakened anyway. Meanwhile, Stubb looking to get in front. And this is, this is a bit dodgy. It might be better going forward and get right up above the 8 ball here rather than trying to get cute here. He might just, oh, hang on a minute. That is not a good shot. I mean, what I said was just let it run and come right down below the 8 ball, and then, you're opening up a couple of pockets for yourself at least. And that's a terrible shot he's played there. He's not going through the queue again. Well, if he loses this rack, he's only got himself to blame again because he's played a poor shot. But he's dug himself out the hole. But you just cannot keep doing that all night. He's double checking he's lined up on these shots every time. I can tell that's what he's doing. I mean, he's just trying to make sure he's not spinning it the wrong way. I wish I had done that last night on that 6 ball into the corner. I never did that. And that was a terrible miss. But I said I wouldn't talk about the 9 ball Scotch doubles, but I had bad dreams about that last night. Right, anyway, Stubb with the 1 rack lead, 3 ball into the right side, 2 ball follows it in, 6 ball had a quick look and decided against it, but he's on the 1. And again, we will state the obvious, he should be out. The question is whether he wants to go forward to the rail or whether the angle maybe look a bit steep here, whether he wants to try and draw this to the rail. No, he's just going to run forward and out. I think it was maybe too steep. Keeping it simple doing that. He's slightly the wrong angle on the 4, but again, all the room in the world to go forward and come into the table between the 7 and 8 and see the 5 easily enough. He might end up just rolling the 6 up into the top right. That would be keeping it simple, but you've still got to come out onto that 7. Now there is another terrible shot. That is an awful shot. He's played 2 absolute howlers. And again, he's now had a bang and he's scratched again for the 3rd time. I mean, there's a table that I would have well, no, tell a lie, I probably wouldn't have got out either. But that was terrible. No other words to describe it. It was a terrible shot. The table's wide open, and you can see where the problems are. So you make sure you don't even go down that road. And he walked straight into it. I mean, how costly is that going to be to him? He should have been 2 in front. Matt's the wrong side of the 8 ball, I think. Yeah. But 2 terrible shots by Stubb so far. Matt's had 1 bad one. One that I can remember. Our 4th scratch. I'm losing count then. Well, here we are. Back all square again. And a ball went into the corner. 4 balls went into the bottom right. Bank on the 1, back for the 2. Got to go for that. Or even, well, is it worth a cut that? No, it's got to be the bank. Always going to be on the 2. Now, you can go to the rail here and just check it a bit. Don't even think he needed to do it. He was quite comfortable with the pace of the shot. Some folk might have been scared of the 6 ball there, so you check it up, but he's fine. Well, what you want to do is stay the top side of that 6 ball, so you're dropping it in and rolling through. Again, he's gone a bit too far, but you would have ideally wanted to be there, so you're probably rolling through for the 7 into the side. So he's probably ended up taking in the corner long. Well, it might be, it could be shaping up to be a close one. I'm sure Matt doesn't like the fact that Stubb's still in his tail. So into rack number 14. And I think the 5 ball was going in, but it got bumped out of the way. Did something else get in instead? I think something else might have went. 2 balls gone. Plumbing the 1. Good luck getting on the 3. Well, the 3... Hang on a minute. Oh, that 3, it does go. And he's played that very well. That's excellent. It'll go in off the jaw. I'm sure it goes in off the jaw. And let's have a look again. Oh, it's tight, but it does go. Yeah, in off the jaw. Straight up into the corner. I think he can just nip down to the left side of the 9 here. Just a little dink down past it. Yeah. So, out into the table, high enough in the 7. Even if you're up by the side pocket. So now we've got, or we should have, a 2-rack gap here. And, well, does he want to risk nipping back here? Or running forward and out? Yeah, right side. Watch the cue ball, though. Watch the cue ball. Oh. Yeah, I'm sure he was worried there, Matt. But there is the 2-rack gap, 8-6. And breaking. 8 ball in. And, oh, that bump didn't do him any favours there at all. Now what do you do? I don't think it cuts either way. It doesn't go past the 3. It does, believe it or not. He's got half a pocket there, but in fact, it goes past the 7 as well. He's got less than half a pocket there. But he's done the right thing, and if that keeps running, Stubbs in trouble. He could go off the bottom rail here with a bit of spin, and it's a big target to hit, and you never know, he might get lucky here, depending on how he hits this, or how he actually collides with the 1 ball. Oh, he got too much on it. So, 1 ball. And that will do. Well, he got the bump. It came out far enough, but again, they're not 100% certainties, these. But he's played that and controlled it well. It's the 2 aspects of the shot that we're talking about. It's not only the fact the cut was not 100% gimme, but you would expect him to get it. But the cue ball control is the most important thing. But there's a mistake. So the mistakes have been there for Matt. And he's now gifted Stubb another one, again, to keep him in touch. And these could all backfire on him at the end of the night as well. Stubb's been allowed to stay in it, and Stubb had all of that, and he's basically in his previous matches where, the other guys have not really been putting out, had the game to capitalise and punish Stubb, but now he's up against a guy who could take Stubb out in the blink of an eye, but Matt's making the mistakes at the wrong time when he's trying to get away from him, and Stubb's just been allowed to stay in touch again. No, he's not back in business. He's He's just, at the moment, he's been allowed to stay in the game. And I think Matt's getting a bit frustrated himself. Don't know why, though. He's made 2 misses that cost him racks. And he's had a bang. Well, Stubb, if he's cutting the 2, this cue ball's running into traffic and nobody knows what's going to happen here, least of all him. He's overcut it. And what he's done there could be fatal because he's broken up any issue. Is that 3 ball go? Yes, it does. So he's opened up the table there for Matt. So the mistake this time from Stubb, when he might have been able to find a safety there, but again, there is little or no thought put into the safety side of it. It's all about making use of the chance that you have, no matter how bloody tough it is. And then it all backfires with the attempted pot in the 4, and then bumping into the balls and opening them up for Matt. Oh, but this time he's not found a line at all. Did he take his time to play that there? Did he really set himself up on it? He was a bit sort of in a hurry. And again, the same story. Stubb sitting there thinking, here we go again. And then the mistake again from Matt, or, the unforced error. And Stubb's getting out of jail here. Well, he could billiard that in and push the 1 along the rail and still push the 5 along the rail and still pot it. I don't see what the issue is. Let's have a look. What's he worried about here? Oh, he might be worried about staying behind the knuckle. It's a bit tight. Maybe he's got the right idea. Well, he ideally wants to keep the 5 ball there when he plays this combo. He doesn't want the 5 really to drop in unless he's thinking about playing and getting on the 6. But I think he's just hoping the 5's going to stay there, which it has done. Although he's bumped to 6, and now he's just got 1 decent positional shot to play, and he'll be out. Well, I don't think Matt took his time in that combo. I have to say, I think he rushed it. Maybe took it for granted. I think if he had taken another couple of seconds getting himself set, it might have been a better outcome. But again, Stubb's not got himself anywhere near close to this. And this is how Stubb plays. It's how he's always played. He's not looking at getting that cue ball in a better position because it all ends up in better control at the end of the day. He's now thin cutting the 6 and going up and down the table. Fair enough. It'd be a poor shot not to get on the 8 ball, even get up and down the table. You've just got to get high enough. Is he going to be short? He's short, but the cut is on. But he should never have had to play that. If he'd played a better shot to get to the 6, this rack would have already been over. That 9 ball would have been in the hole. But that's Stubb's game. I mean, that's how it was in VP3. There was, it wasn't. There was no preciseness with the cue ball most of the time because he could get away with playing cuts from the end of the table, and VP3 was a lot more forgiving than what VP4 is. There's no doubt about that. And that's a habit he's got into, and he's never looked at really been more consistent and controlled by the cue ball or with the cue ball because he's got away with it. I kept saying this, he's got away with it far too long, but ever since we came to VP4, that is not the case, especially in these big events. He's been, Stubb's been found out. He's been found out easily. by what it means by having better cue ball control, because he hasn't won anything. And that's the big fat zero that Stubb has against his name in VP4. What looked deliberate. Welcome to Defty, Hair Pig. Who else did I miss? Anybody? No. And Stubb misses the hit. 8 racks apiece. And a trilogy of BS from Stubb. So Matt looking to try and 3-foul him, but that was a poor one from Matt. He's bumped straight into the 7. And if Stubb gets cheeky here, he could have Matt in trouble. Oh, I'll say this, Stubb's got a touch like a sledgehammer. I mean, he should never have been there, even though the one ball's pretty safe. I thought he was trying to dab behind the 4 there. I mean, all these balls in the middle of the table, there's loads of places to try and duck whenever you get the opportunity here. Well, there's too much room between that 8 ball and 2 ball. If you're bumping that to the rail and coming out into the table, you might leave the shot on in the 1. I mean, I can't believe he's running the cue ball any further. Well, he's finished behind it too. I think he got extremely lucky there, because I don't believe he played that. But anyway, Matt's got, again, a big target to go to the rail and catch that 1. And Stubb will be having a cut at this. I would say, oh no, it didn't get a rail. It didn't get a rail. I didn't realise that. The ball in hand. Now, this will show you how confident Stubb is. He's, for a second there, I thought he was contemplating the combo, and he is. He doesn't trust himself to move the cue ball and run out. And I mean, there's not really a problem ball in the table when you look at it. I mean, they've all got a pocket to go into. And he could regret this. Well, he's nailed it, though. Fair play. He has the lead. Ball on the side, which I think was a 2 ball. He's going to have a dodgy cut at distance in the 1. Now, this... is he digging in to play this, or is he letting it run out? Because it might run into the 3 ball. Or it might go around the back of the 3 ball and into the table, and he'll be fine. Just depends how much he gets into the cue ball. But the pot's more important, first of all, and he's well away from that. Well away from. He's going to get a bump in the 7 and hook Matt, I think. Yeah, there's a bit of jamminess. Let's have a look. No, he ain't going that way. So you've got to pick the line off that short rail up top. Oh, did he sneak round the back there? And he's potted it. Let's see that again. I was too busy looking up the table. Did he got a wee bit of spin on that there? Ah, he did. Little Massey. That was well played. Now, This is the important one. And again, he's just taking his medicine. He's not trying to do too much. He's just getting himself across to open up the angle, and that's fine. That's all you want to be doing. Coldest Pillow says Stubb will try 100% versus Cobra. So you're pretty certain that Stubb's going to the one-loss site tonight then, Coldest Pillow? You've let the cat out of the bag there. Coldest Pillow's decided Stubb can't win this tonight. He's heading over to the one-loss side to join Cobra. Well, we're all tied again. And Matt says, can you shut up? Now, he shouldn't even have said anything. Other than that, just mute him. Just concentrate on what you're doing and don't get involved with Stubb in the slightest. Don't pay any attention to it. Just right-click his name and mute him. And then your troubles are over. You don't have to be distracted by the chat. Or, if we had an admin that was paying any attention, they would have dealt with us right from the off. So they would have. Now, Matt didn't say he was taking a break, but there's nothing doing at the moment, so I presume he's went to the bathroom or something. Oh, Stubb wouldn't have any teeth left if Stubb, if he spoke the way he was typing all the time in tournaments, he wouldn't have any teeth left because somebody would have wrapped the butt end of a cue around his face. Well, I was worried there that my VP4 had locked up, but it hasn't. There's just nothing happening. So we might find out in a minute or two. Welcome to Rabbit. Right, Matt breaks off. And rack number, 19? Well, I don't know whether Matt's taking my advice. Because he doesn't need to see what Stubb's typing it, because he knows what he's typing. He just doesn't need to read it. Well, Stubb will have a good bang at this around the corner. And I thought he'd cut the 5 in there. But all that juice in the cue balls brought it out into the table. Loads of room to go on the 2. And he needs to get high on this 2 if he can, so he can maybe pot the 2 and bump into the 8. Oh, but he has to get the 1 ball first of all. And he's overhit the shot in the 2, so everything about that shot was wrong. Yeah, this is all about how you finish in the 2-ball, because that 4-ball doesn't go past the 8. Stubbs bumped the 2-ball into no man's land, so this will be a good one. He's going to do the big dig and cut into the top left, go to the rail, miss the 6-ball if he can, and come across for a shot in the 4 into the right corner. That, I think, is the plan. Yeah, I actually played it quite well in terms of the cue ball, but missed the 2. And now Matt has got an ugly 2-ball. So the mistakes have been there from both players. Oh, that bump in the 4 has killed it. Well, I know what I'm doing here. I'm going 2 rails to try and get up where the 7 and 9 is. Miss the left side pocket and go to that long rail above the side pocket with a bit of spin possibly, and bank the 4 towards the 8. That's what I'd be doing. What Stubbs doing, I don't know. We're about to find out. See whether he can come up with a better idea. And that wasn't it as far as I'm concerned. Now Matt can see, he can see the shot I'm talking about. Whether he plays it, I don't know. He's, that's a terrible shot, the double kiss. I mean, what is it with these guys? You've got to get the length of the cue ball away from that object ball, and the shot was on to duck away up table there and bank it back to the 8. I mean, the worst thing you're going to leave is a bank, but not a gimme of a bank. But another mistake from Matt again. And again, I spoke about this before the match started. If Matt's not going to be as consistent, then, if he keeps giving these chances to Stubb, we'll see how it turns out at the end of the night. And it's taking an ugly shape at the moment as far as Matt's concerned. He just can't get away from him. And the reason he can't get away is not because Stubbs playing great, it's because Matt's making the errors. And they're all happening at the wrong time, right in the middle of the rack. And the end result is, not a difficult table here for Stubb. Loads of room. And as we're getting to the second half of the match, if Stubb gets this break working right now, it's a whole different ball game. Well, 9-ball in the middle of the table, but the cue ball still got to be controlled. And the safest way is up and down and back into the table and not trying to be fancy. Well, he's staying up because it's going to be long that way. So either way works, as long as you know what you're doing before you do it. So this will be into the corner. I don't know. Go and look at the bracket. I mean, I'd be looking at the bracket at the end of the match anyway, just to see where it does end up. But if you want to know now, go and look. I'm not looking now. So Stubb is the first to double figures. He breaks, and he breaks dry. And the best Matt's got here is the combo. And you've got to play this at not necessarily pocket weight, but not too hard. Just like that to keep the 1 in play, and that's perfect, although he's hampered. And where's the 2-ball going to go? Because this cue ball wants to come over towards the 5. This is by no means simple. And he's trying to drop it in dead weight, hold it for the line in the 2. That is perfect. Couldn't ask for much straighter than that. And the rest should be simple, he says confidently. I'll have a quick drink. What, right in the middle of the match and annoy Cobra and Hairpig by tabbing out to look at the bracket? No, thank you. I'm only going to annoy the two of them. Now, the other day there, I asked you guys to hit that like button, and only 6 of you did it. I keep telling you, this is how the algorithm works for YouTube. You've got to get those likes for the algorithm to kick in. If anybody's searching for billiard or stuff on YouTube, I mean, we don't get that many viewers on here, but what viewers we do have, everybody should be hitting the like button. Whether you like me or not, it doesn't matter. I'm looking to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I need all the help I can get. So I'm asking you, just tab out, hit the like, and that's you done. But to have like 20 viewers the other night or near enough it, and only 6 of them hit the bloody like is not good. It's not like I'm asking you to give me money, although a subscription is only £1 a month to support the channel. I never ask hit the like, hit the what do you call it, the bell button, but you should be doing that as well. But then again, you'd get annoyed by me doing my trucking stuff. But it does give you an alert when I go live, unless you're paying attention to the lobby, and you'll see the schedule and stuff like that anyway, and know that there's matches coming, whether it be me or Slim. But you should be doing the same thing for Slim. If you're not a subscriber, get onto his channel and just subscribe. Everybody needs that subscriber count. Well, Matt's going to have the slender lead, but now he's, both of these players are going to have to work hard to get away from one another, and it's the one that's going to make the least mistakes from here on in. 7 ball goes. 1 ball in no man's land again. Matt all out for the pot. That's a great pot. He played stuff like that last night in the 9-ball Scottish doubles. I mean, he just knocks that in. That is not easy. Okay, get a nice little bump in the 9, but clean as a whistle, that 1 ball. Now, when you do stuff like that, and he's nice in the 2. The problem is this 4 ball now, if he's probably going to have to bump this and hope he gets lucky. Well, there is a dead set combo. Now, that is unmissable. I'm not even missing that. Oh. BP Monster has subscribed. Well, thank you very much. $1 a month it costs you. The cheapest on YouTube. I have to do that anyway, regardless of whether I'm colourblind. I have to do that in the bloody stream half the time. Well, thanks very much for the subscription. Well, we've got daylight again. MC_Clarky has got the 4 ball just dropped in its last breath. The 1 ball had already gone. No shot in the 2. Cabbage is a good game. Where's the like button? You tab out to the main screen, and you'll see the like below it. Welcome to Brainful Out. Matt trying to play the snooker safety there. Although he didn't get the 2-ball to the left side rail. Now, Stubb trying to use the line of balls, but he's going to sneak out. He had the right idea for once there, Stubb. I'll give him credit for that. Now, can he get enough of this to try and sneak into that corner? Again, he's tried his best, but not quite got there. Now, this is a sort of two-in-one shot. I'll say that again. A two-way shot here. If he wants to have a go, try and cut in this, but use the angles to come around. He won't have a shot in the 3. He's having a blast though again, you see. You know, it's all going to end in disaster doing that, because all he's done is teed up the 2-ball for Matt with an angle to get up the table for the 3. I mean, again, you've got to come up with something constructive. I think he had a two-way shot there where he could have a go at the 2. Yes, he might end up having to play a safe off the 3, but let's say the cue ball finished down here, he could have played a thin edge off the 3 and ducked for cover back up the table here. But as it is, he's had a blast. And is that going to be behind the knuckle? No. And he's given Matt... This might be the break that Matt needs to stretch this gap here. I think he's finished bolt straight in the 3, though. Yeah. Well, I'm going to say it again. That was not a great shot. He's gone through too far, and now he's having to play a blind pocket cut at distance. I mean, right in the heart of the pocket, though. Where was the problem with it? Oh, good evening to LS3. A rare visitor to the channel. Well, that would take a lot of... I would imagine that would take a lot of coding, that. I would sooner have Killer in the game. I think Killer would be a great game for a laugh. Can you imagine Friday Night 9-Ball getting binned and having a Killer tourney with 16 people in it? I think that'd be hilarious. Especially when everybody would be up against Stubb and getting him killed out the game early on. He would have ran out his lives by the 3rd rack. Now, we've got a problem here. And right where the cue ball is where the problem is. That 4-ball, let's have a look at the rail. No, you're not getting to that 4-ball, let's be honest. Now, you might be getting to it here if you get the draw on the cue ball and get any sort of chip either way. You'd be unlucky not to free the thing up. Well, he'll take that. Now, he's got to not hook himself behind the 7. Or finish short in the middle of the table and just cut that 5-ball back into the side. I mean, he's got all this room here. I mean, even if you're here, you can still cut that 5 in. Don't go too far behind the 7 or the 8. And he's okay. Well, that might be what it is here, Pig. It's where you get... there's a video on YouTube, and I watched it, and that's what sold me the game. That's what sold me to it. There's like 9 or 10 guys. They all know one another. Some of them are numpties at pool. Some of them are better rated. And the numpties get 3 lives. The better guys get 2 lives. And it's just like a knockout thing. Till you're eventually down to the 2 players at the end of it. But it is a great group game to play, so it is. And that's why it's a game that you can have different level of players all playing together. Well, Stubb, with the breakout on that locked up 4 ball, was it? He's going to get the rack and he's going to be back to within 2. With the emphasis on he needs a follow-up rack pretty quickly here. 4 ball's going to go in. Something dropping the side and he's on the 1. Now, what about the 2? Does it go? Yes, it does. So he's given himself a very good chance here to get out. I think my voice is going to need another drink. The vocal cords are drying out. Welcome to Jose. Right, now, if there's one problem on the table, it's that. It is off the rail, but the problem is where the 6 ball is. You've got to get from there to the 8 ball. And it all looks easy enough. But you don't want to leave yourself a bedhead cut in this 8 ball if you can help it. You want to get right up there. That's where the problem could lie, if Stubb leaves that short or he's not sitting in a good angle or anything on that 6 ball to get up there. Well, maybe Stubbs actually decided to calm it down a wee bit, seeing as Matt told him to shut up. But I hope Matt just muted him like I told him to do. I mean, it couldn't be any easier. All you do is just go over the player's name, right-click it, if you can get it to open up, that is. In fact, left-click it, not right-click it, what am I talking about? And then just hit ignore like that. And that'll stay ignored all night until he leaves the lobby and comes back in, and then you have to mute him again. And then you hit ignore to unignore him, if you know what I mean. Or unmute him. I'm missing some in the chat here again. I hate this YouTube app on the phone. Yeah, I never even noticed Interchange X arriving. Good evening or good afternoon. So, pressure shot in the 6 ball. Remember what I said about how good he finishes in the 6 ball? This ain't great, but he should definitely be a lot better on the 8 ball. And that'll do. He's got to flush this, though. Yes, it's off the rail, but you've got to hit this sweet. This to get back within the 1. See, Matt will be getting irritable at the fact that he's not killed this match off. Or, you know, with the mistakes he's made, he's been keeping Stubb at arm's length for a wee bit, but he's not really been away to, he's not settled this match. And that's what's beginning to probably irritate him, the fact that he's made those mistakes and Stubb's been allowed to stay in touch all the way through. And now he's got another ball or balls in the break. What did he get? He got the 4. No shot in the 1. Right, he's called to push out. Well, if he comes down to the corner here, well, Matt could try and use the 6 ball. The 3 ball, I think, is a bit sort of interfering with getting away up the table off the right side of the 1. And Matt's overhit that. Again, quite a margin. I don't think his intention was to come way out the back end of the 6. Well, he's stopped trying to bank this and duck up top. Yes, well, he wasn't sitting good in that shot there to try and use these balls. It wasn't a good line. And as it is, bumping the 9s left Matt a shot in the 1. So either way, it wasn't a good safety. And he's given Matt the chance to open this gap again. I tried kick, nobody subscribed to it, or there was virtually no viewers went over to it. So I binned that idea. And besides, kick is still in beta. There's little or no features on it, and they don't save your videos either. YouTube's far better for that. Right, now Matt might have to run here. Yeah. And the pace in the cue ball, pretty good. Nevertheless, this is going to put him 2 in front. And now it's getting to that time where anything can happen, especially if Stubb can get in here and get out. But the 3 ball is gone. The saving grace for Stubb is no shot for Matt. The bad news for either player is that whoever makes the mistake in the 1 ball, there's a strong likelihood the other guy's getting out. Now, having a quick look at that 2, the 2 does go. Now, I wonder what Steve would say about this shot, because this is, again, a great opportunity to bank that 1 back towards the short rail and duck up to the long grass. Just got to make sure you don't bank that where you're going to hit the 2. Well, Stubb took the idea of banking to blasting it into the side. Ends up getting lucky and sticking Matt behind the 2. These are the kind of breaks that can make or break the match. You know, if you're getting these lucky rolls now and again. Now, there's your chance, Stubb. Now, if Stubb can get back onto level terms here, I think I would err on putting him favourite, if only because Matt's annoyed with himself. And whenever you start letting your mind drift onto those sort of things, you're not 100% focused on what you've still got to do to win this match. So Stubb then becomes the favourite. If he gets this back to 14-all, it ain't looking good if you're in Matt's corner. He's got to then prove why he wants to win one of these things. And if he's going to be good enough, because you have to overcome adversity one way or another, no matter what kind of adversity it is in tournament play. You got to find your way out of it. Oh, good evening to Mooncake. You're coming along at the right time. Because there is no result settled in this match yet, far from it. And these next couple of racks are going to have a big bearing on the outcome of this match, I think. It's whatever Stubb can do, provided he gets this in. It's whatever he can get on this break this time round. Because if ever you ask for a little 3-rack run, right now would be a perfect situation to do it. I don't see anything heading in. And what's more, there is a very dodgy thin cut in the one for Matt. In fact, it's actually maybe too dodgy. That's beyond the pocket too much, I think. He's going to have to try and come up with something here of a decent safety. Try to run through and use the 5. Again, it's a big target to hit the 1 ball. And Stubb blasting this might get any sort of roll of the ball here. He's going to thump this. He's not going to hit this soft. He tried to get the combo. And again, he said, not quite as good a roll of the ball because the cut is definitely on. Now, Matt's hoping he can bump the 5 ball here. Any sort of bump in the 5 will help him to have a shot in the 2. If he's unlucky, he'll go straight through the gap or go way up top. But that even works. You know, he's going to be cutting the 2 and he's got to get right back up the table, way up the table to where he is now to see this 3 ball. He doesn't want to leave this shot and be interfered by the 5. So now we've got a 7-8 combo to come. And I would like to think that Matt will apply himself 100% for this 7-8 combo. Because it's going to be very important keeping that 2-rack lead. Well, we've got 24 viewers, so Stubb is still box office, it appears. Or is it because Matt's playing? You decide. Well, he's not ideal in this 6 ball. But that pace and control of the cue ball there, that's perfect pretty much. That was very well done again. So this, again, just pocket weight. You're going to be cheating the pocket every day of the week here, but the 7 ball's going to stay handy, just like that. And now it's 3 rails. Get the juice and the spin going. 1, 2, 3. And open out and open out and open out so that you're going sort of flush down the rail. I think we're okay as far as, well, it's close enough, but it ain't touching. And he's got it flush. And he's got the 2-rack gap. And he's got the 1 on the side. The 2 gets a bump. As it get bumped dead? Well, it might be. It is. It doesn't go. And again, this is a 2-ball game. Whoever gets control of this 2-ball and pots it, they should be out. And Matt's, has he left the gap? Has he left the gap? Well, I don't think there's a big enough gap to get the cut angle in the 2. Stubbs looking at it to try and convince himself he can get there, but the 4 ball's in the way, I think. I'll tell you, it'll be a good shot if he gets this, but I think it's too tight. And let's be honest, none of us knows what he's trying to do. Well, he actually tried to dink it into the side. I never even considered that, but that was a lot to ask at that angle. But he made that decision, and he was on the 3, and he would have probably been out, but that's how you live or die in these tournament matches. You make that move. Matt will be relieved because he's now odds on to be sitting 3 in front at the right time, where all the pressure stacks up on Stubb. he'll have to take even more risks if he's given that opportunity, that is. Watch the cue ball. I think he's fine. Well, he could just go forward and across and leave the long cut. I don't think he should be risking doing anything much more than that. And this is just a little dink cut. Unless he does he really want to come down the table and play the 8 in the side? Why doesn't he just dink this in dead weight, roll the 8 in, then roll the 9? Well, he is coming up. But he's definitely out. So 16 racks to 3. And Matt, 3 away from round 4. And taking down Stubb. Stubb needs to get in ASAP if he can. But he needs some help now. 8 balls gone. 1 ball's wide open. He's got a shot in the 1. 2 balls up top, which gives Matt a good line to get somewhere onto this 3 ball. The chances are it's around the corner and behind the 3 for the long pot into the other corner. That looks like the plan. I mean, if he starts getting greedy and trying to get up sort of here to get the 3 in the side, ugly things might happen. We'll see what he does. Oh, is he trying to get in the gap? Oh, he's played it well. Now, that was a defty little shot there. It was risky, but he got it on the money. And now the one that will win him the rack, 4 to 5. Avoids anywhere near the scratch. And he might be just coming good at the right time here, Matt. Holding it together. I mean, when you really think about it, if you're in touch with your opponent all the way through the match and you've not maybe played your best, you've made mistakes, but when it gets down to 3 or 4 racks away from the finish line, if you start putting it together, that's all that really matters. You can play crap all night. If you're still in the game and then suddenly things click, then you can forget the rest of it as long as you've done the business when it mattered. And no sooner have I said that than boom, Matt opens up the door for Stubb, but it's a gap of 4 racks. And Stubb has got no time to spare here. Everything has to go in. And mistakes have to be 0. So there's not a lot to ask for. Now, I'm going to catch you guys before you all bail out and remind you that we have the match tomorrow, another round 3 match between Acero from Japan, who will be playing the match at 10 o'clock at night his time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon British summer time, against Spectre Dawn to see who gets through to round 4. I will be streaming that tomorrow. I'm off work for the next 2 days. So if you can't join us for the match, because most people in the UK are at work at that time, you can catch up on the playlist when you get home or whenever you've got time. But it should be an interesting match. And we'll have a look at the bracket and see how things follow here, who goes to the loser's side and who they're about to play or who the prospective opponents are. And then I'm off for a coffee. So Stubb's going to have to pull out all the stops here to stay alive in this winner's side. The beauty of 9 ball is that possibility is always there, but things have to go for you, and balls are flowing in here. Now, is he on the 2? Well, he's got a shot on it. The 1 and the 8 have gone. Now, the shot on the 3 looks simple enough. It's it has to be on that 3 in a way that it's comfortable to come down and see the 4. Well, surely you can see the 2. Yes, you can. Now, what's he trying to do? We need to bump that 7. And, well, like I said, he has to have a way of getting onto this 4 now. He can drop this into the side, but the cue ball still wants to come up into the table. And he doesn't want to come up too far. He might be trying this dead weight. Yeah. And he's fine. So this is the start of the run to the finish line for both players, but certainly for Stubb, it has to start here and continue. He's not getting many racks to play with. Matt's still not in the hill, and that's the most important part about it. It could be a battle to the end. But that break for Stubb just has to keep working. And that's the thing that you really get no control over at the end of it. The only thing we haven't seen tonight is that 3-ball pattern. Oh, I mean, if he's in the match, he's always going to keep trying, Stubb. He definitely is always going to keep trying. And this is why I said when it gets down to this sort of stage, I mean, had it been a lot closer than this, I think Matt's sphincter would have been a lot tighter than it probably is now. I think he's still thinking he's going to get a chance here, Matt, because it's asking a lot for Stubb to string these together. Watch that 9-ball. This is a disaster. Oh, dear. Well, that opportunity might come here for Matt. That's a huge mistake from Stubb at the wrong time. And again, was he going to get lucky? I think he is. This is tracking in. Look at this. And he's got to pull out the cut in the 7. Well, he's had a roll and a bang and a roll again. Look at that. In it goes, and he's got to pull out the cut in this 7, and this ain't easy. That might be good fortune, and this is in all the way. Now, how big a difference is that going to make in the outcome of the match? But it really was a poor shot to end up hooking himself behind a 9. But the pool gods have blessed him with that shot there. Back to within 2. Six ball goes in, 3 ball in the side, 1 ball in the middle of the table, 2 balls tight, but he can just stop that cue ball. Oh no, he isn't. I thought the cue ball was over the right side. It's a bloody 9 ball. I think he's straight in this. Yeah, he's going to have to go to the rail and come out far enough. He doesn't want to leave this shot. Am I blind or something? I mean, have I missed it? What the hell's he doing there? That's a bloody terrible shot. I mean, that is a god-awful shot, that. I can't believe he's played that. I mean, did he miscount there? Did he think there was a ball missing or something? I don't know what the hell he saw there. Strangest shot of the night as far as I'm concerned. But then again, when I think Stubbs' nerves are jangling a wee bit as well, because he knows he had a chance there, and I don't know whether he was 100% compos mentis thinking about what he was doing. I can't work it out. Well, that's a good cut though. A brave one. I mean, look where the cue ball's sitting. And I mean, that's Stubb at his best doing that. It's a nasty habit he has from VP3, it has to be said, because he's been found out too many times in VP4, but, you know, it worked for him there. Now, is it the billiard onto the 7? Yeah, but he's not got the line, and this could be sellout time. That might be his last shot there, folks. It might be Stubbs' last shot you've just witnessed there. I mean, it was, again, that type of shot is not a gimme, the billiard like that. And it just pushed it to the long rail. So here we go. Matt is on the hill, breaking for the match. Nothing doing. And Stubbs a shot in the 1. Now he can just roll this in and come through for the 2. But again, he's got to come out. He doesn't want to just drop dead below this 2. He wants to make sure that he's got enough pace in this to come out for the 2. Unless he's trying to hold it. See, well, I mean, okay, he's going to drop it in, he's going to go on the 3, no problem. But you're much better being comfortable. But, you know, it still should be a table that he should be out on. There's no real problem. That's the thing, though. But when you're at the table like Stubb was, I mean, you know, your mind is concentrated on one thing, and he saw the billiard there. I mean, I don't even think he contemplated any bank. I think that was what he set his heart on. See, that wasn't easy. But he's got a chance to keep himself alive at least for one more rack here. Now, again, is this angle slightly offline? Yes, it is, but he's good in the 7. Now, how can you mess this up? I mean, not really. But this is like take 2 for Stubb. He's back in control with the break. Can he get the break to work? It has to work for the next 3 racks. But it ain't giving him any joy. And that 8 ball just brushed the 1 into play there. Or it's not the 8 ball, it's the 4 ball. I think, yeah, Matt can pot the 1, but he's too straight on it. He's too straight. If he had a slight angle, he could have gone forward and ducked in the short side of the 2. And played it into that corner. What's he trying to tweak here? Is he trying to get a bump? Or is he quite happy trying to manufacture the combo? Because this is not a gimme. Far from it, this. He's nailed it. How's his luck in the 2, though? Well, he's got to watch the cue ball. Above all. Well, he's got too much room here. He's got loads of room. Is he hampered over that ball? I think he is a wee bit. That makes it a wee bit more difficult. And that's why he's out of line a wee bit. Now, what does he want to do here? It's got to be thin cut. Now, is he going to try and get a bump in something here, maybe? Yeah, bump the back end of that 7 or just scrape by it. Won't do any harm. This is all over, folks. What the question is now, will Stubb bail before Matt finishes and get a fine? Or is Stubb that poor now with all the fines he's had that he can't risk it. Let's see. Either way, whatever happens, we've got the video evidence. Well, that billiard that Stubb played, that's what ended up losing him the match. Well, he's bailed again. He's bailed again. And that'll be another $1,000 fine or whatever fine that Steve wants to apply. Has Stubb got any funds left now that he can be fined? So Matt's now stuck in the room until this time's out. Never a doubt in it. So Stubb was in it for most of the way. And Matt never really got in a flow. He never got that flow going. I mean, he had nice touches, but those mistakes that were popping up were just allowing Stubb to stay in it. But in the end, he was still the favourite to win it overall, but not quite as convincingly as maybe a few people thought, myself included. I thought Stubb would be blasting all night. Stubb actually played with a bit more self-control than what he generally would have done. But I think had the match been going the other way, Stubb would have been blasted more to try and stay in it. But anyway, that's it done. Let's do a quick refresh. If we look at the one-loss side now, where is he? There's that match with Cobra and Brainful out. I can't see. Why can't I see Stubb? Oh, Damon now plays Larry. I should have mentioned that match that Popman forfeited earlier on this evening. Damon now plays Larry in the next round in the one-loss side. I can't see Stubb. Is this thing updated? Why am I not seeing Stubb in the one-loss side? Where the hell's he gone to? Somebody tell me. I am in great difficulty finding where the hell's this match. Why am I? I've just shot myself in the foot. I forgot Matt stuck in the bloody room. Right. Anyway, we'll leave that just now. I forgot Matt's having to sit out. Right. That's why I couldn't see Stubb. Right. So there's what's left. We've got Acero against Spectre Dawn tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m. British Summer Time. That's breakfast time, and even earlier breakfast time if you're west coast of the States. Cobra and Brainful out on Thursday evening at 7 o'clock. And then you've got One Pocket Slim, Coldest Pillow on Sunday. And we've got Matt waiting for the room to time out. And Stubb, Steve will be alerted, i.e. I'll be telling him if nobody else does, that Stubb bailed out again. No, I forgot about that, Cobra. I forgot about that, so it will officially time out. Oh, wait a wee minute here, hang on. Let's just jump into that. Catch the end of this, see if we can jinx Spectre Dawn for tomorrow. Mind you, Spectre Dawn played Acero in a 9-ball tournament today and beat him 7-3. I caught that in the lobby. And Spectre Dawn is 4-1 up at the moment. Brainflout trying to sneak that one in off the back of the 3. Well, we'll let them go on with it. We won't jinx them. Anyway, well done to Matt. If only because you got over the line. I hope I never have. I hope you bloody take it. He's gone to bed. He's probably left the building. But I hope he muted him when I said for him to mute him, and then don't get distracted by him. Your mind then just stays on the game. Right. So we know Matt's through. So well done to. In fact, did we look to see who he's playing next? I don't even think I paid any attention to that. Right. So Matt is through to round 4, and he then plays the winner of the match tomorrow. I think I said that earlier on today. Yeah, he will play either Spectrodon or Acero in round 4. Right, that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. It actually turned out a more interesting match for all the wrong reasons, probably, than what we thought it would be. But nevertheless, you've got to go over the line. Matt was good enough in the end. And there, finally, it's appeared in the lobby. So hopefully Steve sees that and can work it out. He'll know that. Right, I'll look for your company at some point, maybe tomorrow. I don't expect as many viewers, bearing in mind what time of day it is, but those that can join us, you'll be welcome. And if not, watch it on the playlist for the tournament that is on my channel. I will bid you good night, take care, and we'll see you all soon. Cheerio.